It's your favorite YouTube dealer. I appreciate you guys for stopping in. We got some Ren today. This is off of his Freckled Angels project. It's called Meaning. For anybody new here or has not subscribed to the new music reaction channel, I appreciate you guys if you do decide to. You know, at the end, if you enjoy it, you can smash that like button as well. Leave a comment. All the good things for the algorithm. But let's dive in and let's see what this man was doing with this one.
The meaning of this life can change. It's just how you observe it. Like, you can't stop a wave, but you can learn to surf it. So it's all down to interpretation. Remember, one man changed the laws of physics with a 3-letter equation, so I take that same principle and I apply it to life.
Okay, this is like some spoken word. I like this. Okay, there might be a lot to talk about with this, as short as it is.
The meaning of this life can change. It's just how you observe it. Like, you can't stop a wave, but you can learn to surf it. So it's all down to interpretation. Remember, one man changed the laws of physics with a 3-letter equation, so I take that same principle and I apply it to life. For every moment's an opportunity in a different disguise. To be aware of your potential, that is to open our eyes. The only force that works against us is the ticking of time, but I accept mine. I stare death in the face. I take hold of his bony fingers. I hold death in embrace. For to accept death, that is to be free from fear, and we can fill the gap with love, and time just seems to disappear. For what?
This is okay. Oh, I wasn't ready for that. I like this. This is amazing. The meaning of life definitely can't change. It depends on how you focus on it. You can't go through life angry. You can't go through life holding on to things. Unfortunately, you're going to make some bad choices in life. Things aren't always going to go your way, and you're going to end up in some spots that you'd rather not be in or that aren't really beneficial to you. Trust me, I know for a fact, 100%. And I am definitely one of those people that has a hard time at times letting go of things that I've made mistakes with or bad decisions that I've made. I still think about it on a regular basis about my main channel, just for example, on YouTube, where I'm like, I shouldn't have tried to change the content because it kind of hurt my channel's ability to continue to grow the way that it was, and I can't seem to get it back on track. I think about all the times that I've smoked weed throughout my life and how much money that probably adds up to. I think of all the money that I wasted. I think of all sorts of things like that that could change the direction of my life, or could have changed the direction of my life, I should say, and change the place that I'm currently at. Instead of being in this apartment, which is not a bad apartment, and it's not super, super expensive. It's more than it probably is worth a little bit, but I made it nice. We painted again, we, you know, like stuff like it. But I'm like, man, if I would have just made the right choices throughout life, saved up money, not spent it on weed, not done all these dumb things, I'd be living in maybe my own house by now. Or, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the little things like that that I'd be holding on to. And there's some things that you hold on to that are much tougher. It could be revolving around somebody who passed away and not being there for them, which I also have some things like that that I hold on to. Not going to visit somebody before the last day that they were alive and thinking that you had more time to do so. There's so many different things, you know, relationships, but at the end of the day, that's all part of life. And as much as you hate to think about the things that you've dealt with and the mistakes that you've made and the regrets that you have and how that can kind of hold you back in ways, everybody kind of has them. You might see somebody out there smiling and think that everything is good, but everybody has some issues. I remember I went just recently to an appointment, and it was to get a monitor to check my heart throughout like a 24-hour period. I think it's called a Holter monitor, if I remember correctly. And for the most part, everything is okay. There was a few things that were a little bit off that are thankfully correctable as far as I understand. And so I'm working on actually fixing those things now. But I was in the office, and there was an older guy there with his wife. And he was joking and laughing and having a great time, and just seemed like he really enjoyed life and was taking it all in. And now it doesn't mean that he definitely is on every single day and so on and so forth, because some of the happiest people, or what seems to be the happiest people, like take Robin Williams, for example, end up unfortunately taking their own lives at times. But all that aside, this man was laughing, joking with me, joking with other people in the waiting room, and just having a good time. And then I'm hearing his wife talk with somebody else, and they were talking about how he had a triple bypass surgery and he's had all sorts of heart issues. So instead of sitting there and thinking, oh my God, something might be wrong with my heart, I can go any day, or this can happen to me, or that can happen to me, and letting that bring him down and make him just a very monotone person, I guess, so to speak, or just, you know, just very flatline as far as the way that he lives life. He's chosen to just not let that be what defines him. And instead, he keeps his fun nature, and he jokes and he laughs and he has a good time, and he's enjoying as much as he can while he's here. And I was in there so concerned about what could potentially be wrong with me when I've never even had probably half the problems this man has, and I may never have. And I'm in there just quiet, nervous, and I'm letting it affect my life and affect the way that I approach things and making me overthink. And I try to remember that every so often and tell myself that, yes, I can't just get rid of my worries, because some people have them and some people are just, thankfully more free to kind of escape their worries and their thoughts and stuff like that. But I feel like there's a way for me to get past them and to be able to enjoy life like this guy and just be open and just have fun. And, I'm happy that I quit smoking weed back on February 20th, but I do feel like ever since I quit, I've kind of lost that. Like the weed, as much as it wasn't great for me and I was spending money and so on and so forth, it allowed me to kind of not worry so much. Like it took a lot of that away from me, and I was able to be way more joyful and just in the moment in life. Whereas ever since I quit, I've been thinking way more about things that I don't normally think about, and I've been worried more often, and I'm like, it really has brought me down and made me not as enjoyable in like real life offline. Like I'm just not, I don't know. But when I do these videos and I do my live streams and stuff, I feel alive again. And I feel like I'm so focused on what I'm doing that none of those thoughts are there to stop me from being me, if that makes sense. But when I'm not doing this, I've got to find a way to try to overcome that. So sorry for the long dialogue, but this song just brought out that thought process in me. So I'm going to start it over. I'm going to let him cook, and I'm not going to stop it as often this time. And if I have anything to say, I'll probably try to do it more towards the end. But this is some real shit right here. You should definitely pay attention to this.
The meaning of this life can change. It's just how you observe it. Like you can't stop a wave, but you can learn to surf it. So it's all down to interpretation. Remember, one man changed the laws of physics with a 3-letter equation, so I take that same principle and I apply it to life. For every moment's an opportunity in a different disguise. To be aware of your potential, that is to open our eyes. The only force that works against us is the ticking of time, but I accept mine. I stare death in the face, I take hold of his bony fingers, I hold death in embrace. For to accept death, that is to be free from fear, and we can fill the gap with love and time just seems to disappear. For what is the use working a 9-to-5 job, trying to build some sort of status for ourselves before our time is up, if when we get there we feel the same as we did from the start? Material wealth will never quench a thirsty heart. We spend so much time searching for the meaning of our existence that sometimes we forget to just exist through sheer persistence.
Whew. I like that. We spend so much time searching for the meaning of our existence that sometimes we forget to just exist. That is so true. That is so true. And as much as I'm thankful and lucky to be able to be doing YouTube and stuff like that, at times I'm so focused on I've got to grow the channel. How are the views doing? What are the analytics like? That I feel like I've kind of lost the direction of just living life over the past 3 to 4 years. And that's something that I really, really am trying to overcome and get back into and get back out there. Because in the beginning, I was still living life. And I was just in the happiest place that I've probably ever been. Ever. Like my YouTube was doing well, and I was going out and living life, and I was experiencing things and meeting new people. And then ever since maybe 2021 or so, I've kind of just shelled up into my house and been so focused on this stuff that I feel like I've lost my will to live almost. And I'm trying so hard to get that back.
Buddhist monks will spend days in deep meditation, and saints will contemplate God and all of his creations. Scientists will try to summarize with an equation. Consumerists, they'll try to buy the ticket to salvation. Well, this is my theory. This is my school of thought. The meaning of life is much easier than once thought. I think that the meaning of life is to simply live. And if I am wrong, then Lord, please forgive, but it seems so simple that it's obvious. It makes me want to shout out that the meaning of life is this moment, this second, right here, right now.
Whew. That's so real. Okay, this might be one of my favorite things from him, and it's I mean, I guess you could say it's a song, but it's more like spoken word. And that is that, okay, I feel like I needed this. I feel like I needed this in my life. I needed this in my life, without a doubt. I've shelled myself up so much that's to the point where, like, I used to go out, and when I'd go on walks, or if I went somewhere, I'd see random people that I didn't even know at times. And if it was just me and them passing each other, I'm like, oh, what's going on? Like, just wanted to interact with people, just wanted to just be a part of life in general. Nowadays, I feel like I'm just kind of keep to myself. I've lost that, and I don't know why, or I don't know how. I don't know. I don't know exactly. I think that it might have had to do partially with my last relationship. Like when I left it and I went through a little bit of depression, I kind of just shelled up, and it's almost like maybe an internal way of protecting myself. I don't know, but this was something that I needed. Hopefully it's something you guys needed and I was able to share it with you guys as well. I'm curious to see what you guys got to say down in the comments, because I say a lot of stuff in my videos, man. I share pretty much everything about me because I think that is the beauty of YouTube, is making this connection with you guys. And unless I'm personal with you guys and I invite you guys into my life at times, I just don't think that we can ever really make that connection. I just become another video on the screen that you're watching just to get through and enjoy and entertain yourself, which at times that's what you want. At times that's what you want. Sometimes you don't want to go through all this talking and this deepness and this, that, and the third, because it's not always something that you want to be doing. But at the same time, I like to add this every once in a while, especially when something brings it out of me, because I feel like getting to know each other and you guys through the comments, you know, me, you know, through the videos, and it's just a part of it. So that's crazy. I really enjoyed this. I appreciate you guys. I will catch you next video, homies.
I've been feeling like I'm dying on the inside. I forget what living life has really been like. I'm so stuck inside my head, I think I'm lost, but I pray to God in hopes that it's just something I can get by. Sometimes I'm really worried about what's wrong with me. Other times I think the stress is what it all could be. My mind is like a trigger till I fall asleep. It hurts to be held hostage by the thing that gave me all my reach. And still you'll see I ain't escaped the pattern set. Every day I think I'm dying, but I haven't yet. I barely enjoy anything. Imagine death is creeping up behind you, but it's all been what you manifest.